to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcast are back, talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I am Brian Christie, and you know what? You're starting off a new year. Why don't we have a special guest to make things just a little extra special to kick things off? We have Joe's better half, and I know he won't be upset that I say that because we all know it's true.
It is true. This is also her tryout to replace Joe as the educator on staff. So
it
doesn't
matter what she says. You already replaced me. You already said she's going to replace me anyway. You've been saying that for weeks, so let's give her a chance.
Well, Joe, you're fourth in the rank of teachers on this podcast. So
I told you they would say that.
You know, I'm not even a teacher, and I'm ahead of you.
Victor Perry, Chris Moore,
Victor, Chris,
Jess
T,
and Joe, and now Joe T.
The teacher power rankings on this week's That Wrestling
Podcast. You're still on the Mount. You're still on the Mount Rushmore.
That's true.
That's at least
you're hanging on, Joe. But yeah, Jess is here because we were so excited, me and the rest of the boys, to find out unannounced, unplanned, as shared with us, that Jess and Joe were live at Monday Night Raw in Nashville. A complete surprise. And for Jess,
we saw his recap video. We knew he was there.
No, but we didn't know going into it though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Joe teased us with sorry, I won't be. What'd you say, Joe? Like I won't be home. I won't be home for Raw. Yeah, it's like okay.
But the Wi-Fi was so terrible there that you didn't see the pictures, and we were sitting there going like, why haven't they responded yet? I thought this would be funny.
Yeah. I blew it off.
The pictures came 3 hours later.
Yeah, but so little did we know. Yeah, a little later we see that they are live from. Is it the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville?
Yes,
they were there, and it was Jess's first Monday Night Raw. So I guess we're just going to open the floor to Jess to talk about how this came together and just your overall experience.
Well, you guys have all known Joe for years, so you know what a cheap guy he is. So I was never going to make it to Raw under Joe's discretion. So, we were sitting there, our winter break had started, and I'm like, man, let's go someplace. I know that I can get you to go someplace if I involve wrestling. So we're looking up a bunch of wrestling shows, and it was all like house shows in the area. And then I said, well, Nashville is really not that far away, and they've got a Monday Night Raw coming there. There's VIP tickets available. And again, would Joe ever buy VIP tickets on his own?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Floor seats or bust. So I'm like, what do you think? And surprisingly enough, I think we had an argument about him saying no to Boston like the week or two before. I said, do you want to go?
Ooh,
and he decided to be a yes man. So, click, money spent, VIP tickets, and we were on our way.
Now what day was this? Like a day or two before, or like that morning?
No. This was probably like a week before.
Okay, so it's planned out pretty far. Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of planned out, kind of like, but for us, kind of last minute too.
Yeah, of course.
So drove down there. We left Monday morning, Bridgestone. And now, as you also know, Brian doesn't like to dish out for nice hotels, is what I've heard. So we stayed at a pretty swanky hotel that was only a block away from Bridgestone Arena.
Great work. Great job.
So checked in, did a little sightseeing in Nashville, and then headed to the arena. And it was super exciting, like just a really exciting vibe there the whole time. Watching all of the kids come in, like the kids are the greatest parts to watch at a Raw because they're just so mesmerized by everything because it's still real to them.
So how did you feel?
It was pretty exciting. We were taking pictures of the ring and just kind of the vibe and like the hum of the audience. And then once they got started, there's the two dark matches. Is that what you call them? Dark matches.
Main event.
And they were great matches. So we got
Dana
Shelton
Brooke,
Benjamin. Yeah, Dana Brooke and Nikki Cross. That match was okay. But then we got Shelton Benjamin, who I know because I've, since Joe and I met, he's always been around, and I really like Shelton Benjamin. Wrestled a couple of guys from NXT, so that was pretty cool seeing somebody that I know. And then he got this huge standing ovation, and we actually thought he was going to retire for a minute because he got up and talked about how he had been wrestling for 20 years and like, oh, are we actually witnessing a retirement right now? But it was just him saying, you know what, I'm here to stay, and I appreciate your support all of these years, and I'm going to be here for another 20 or whatever.
Jess, they released that clip on their social media today. So I saw exactly what we were talking about with that speech that Shelton did of, 20 years and thanking the fans. And he ended with that, ain't no stopping me now. So yeah, that's really cool. I was like, oh, you guys were there for that. How great.
Yeah.
I did have that in my highlight video.
You did.
You did have it in your highlight video. Yeah.
So when you guys got the VIP experience, is that the one with the meet and greet, the wrestler meet and greet beforehand?
No meet and greet. We got there was a swag package, which I'm not sure who dropped the ball on that, but they didn't have our swag package there for us.
Oh no, so that's terrible.
It's getting mailed to us, or it will be getting mailed to us, or they will be hearing from me many, many, many times. And then of course we got the VIP chairs, which
that's pretty cool.
You have to get the chairs. Like, is Joe holding up a chair right now? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So is it plastic? Is it metal?
No, this thing is heavy, and
it's like it's a normal. It's like
the chairs that I got for WrestleMania. And
these things are heavier than I expected them to be because they're comfortable. So I was really happy about that. But walking them back, luckily I was only a block away from Bridgestone. So,
did you guys do karaoke?
We did not do karaoke.
Joe, did you go the
would have made the highlight video if he did?
Did you go to the second time to the Johnny Cash Museum?
No, but we did go to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Went to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Went to Tootsie's, swung by Ryman Auditorium. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome. That's great.
Did you guys play Barmageddon after Raw? With Sasha Banks and Brie Bella?
A live taping of Barmageddon.
No,
which is a great show. Barmageddon is a lot of fun. Kevin, it's right down your alley.
What, it was good?
Well, I mean, all of them have been good, regardless of who's on the show, but it's a lot of fun. I feel like Cocktoberfest needs some Barmageddon next season.
I'll call Gwen Stefani's husband. What's his name?
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. I'll call Blake Shelton.
You call him up. Yeah. Yeah. So Joe and I had made some predictions about what was going to be the main event, and we had both predicted that it was going to be Bianca versus Alexa Bliss because it was for a title.
Wrong.
We were so wrong.
Dud.
So we were super surprised when that was the match that started.
Mm-hmm.
So Jessica has a new motto now. It is not floor seats or bust. It is first row or bust.
Ringside.
Whoa.
Ringside or
That's a
bust.
hashtag.
You guys going to WrestleMania in LA with Ryan the Barber?
You got a place to stay. Speaking of WrestleMania, Brian, is there any update on you and Ryan coming to WrestleMania this year?
Kevin, breaking news.
Haven't got my, what was the W20? What's the
W2?
W2 when you get for the year. Yeah.
All right.
Give that update a hold for a couple weeks, my friend.
No, unfortunately, now it's going to be more expensive because Jessica is now first row or bust because being third row isn't close enough when
it wasn't.
You're 5 feet tall.
And everyone was standing up in front of her.
My wife's the same way.
Whole night.
Yeah. It's the same thing on my end, but
no, that's awesome.
The WWE official actually came down during the third hour to tell us to sit down because we were standing too much.
Oh wow!
Because
you're
facing the
standing
camera
too much, and we're taping. I wasn't standing because I could see.
Jessica's
but I felt
standing,
bad
but it
for
looks
Jessica.
like just a normal person sitting.
Right. That's
right. Yeah.
Highly unorthodox.
Jessica, as in to people who are listening, you are on the shorter side.
Right.
And that's nothing against, right? You're just
She is 5'1.5", and don't forget that half.
She is a
and
little
Joe,
lady.
you're like 6'6", right, Joe?
6'5".
It's a lot of inches.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference. But there's I don't know. I had a blast. I'm glad Jessica talked me into going. It wasn't really that hard to talk me into going. No. It's like, hey, let's go to Raw, and I'm just gonna get these VIP experience tickets. And she does the bill, so I just gotta take her word for it when it comes to what money we have.
There you go.
But it was her idea to say, don't tell the boys.
I love that.
Yeah, that
like,
was good.
Don't tell. I wanted to tell you like right away, like I'm going to Raw. Like
She's the brains of the operation
because of the
Joe.
whole Survivor Series thing of not going, and you guys were giving me such crap for not going
To
that I was like,
Boston.
I wanted to
That's
let you know that it's like I finally like I'm doing it. But I love the fact that my wife Jessica, thank you for coming on. But I love the fact that she
Get
talked
out.
me into doing.
I
this.
know. He's
No,
like,
she
"Get
doesn't have to
out."
go. I'm about to go because I'm getting voted off. I think you've done
All right.
more on this show than I've done in the 100
I
episodes.
vote Jessica stays. You
Yeah,
guys.
see you, Joe.
See ya.
Peace. Later,
It
Joe.
looks like there's more than one board of director takeover going on
Oh,
in
no.
wrestling.
See you and your Charlotte shirt.
The only thing I didn't get though, how was dinner at the Raceway?
Did you guys do Raceway dinner again?
There was, there was
Oh,
no
shocking.
gas station dinners. There was
Okay.
no gas station.
Ah,
Although,
Waiting 10
Although, I
minutes.
Oh,
will
for that
listen to
say-
this. This is good.
so we went back to the hotel because we knew that the bar there was open until 11. So we didn't eat dinner before we went. We had like just a light snack. We're like, oh, we'll just head to the bar afterwards. We'll get there right before they close. So we walk into the hotel bar and they're like, oh, we're giving last call right now and the kitchen is closed. And we're
Oh,
like,
here we
dang
go.
it. We
That's
haven't
Raceway.
eaten anything.
Raceway,
So-
here we come.
There
Yeah.
were no cheap gas stations by our hotel. We stayed at a fancy place, guys.
Yeah, we did. We
not
stayed at-
stay.
Very nice hotel.
There was
Just like we're
nobody
gonna
from
do
the
in-
Rock and Roll Express there.
just like we're gonna do at SummerSlam if it ends up in
Yep.
Detroit.
Well, you couldn't go next door and get like a made to order pizza, right, Kevin? Like you did the one night that took like 20 minutes to
Point
get.
back, Kevin. For that- for
Jesus
that
Christ.
hot slice.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I did get in trouble the next day because when it finally stopped raining, we walked Broadway, and apparently there was a candy shop bakery
There was,
on Broadway. I did not
Oh, that's
know.
right. I forgot about that first
Remember,
demand.
Brian, when we were walking there, and she's like, I was like, well, Jessica said that we have to stop at a bakery, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
So
Apparently, there's one right on Broadway.
Yeah.
So I asked them, I'm like, so did you open just in September? And they went, no, we've been open for 10 years. So I got in trouble.
what did you guys buy any merch?
Yeah.
What'd you get? What'd you buy?
We each got the American Nightmare shirts.
Oh,
jelly.
that's cool. They had those.
Yeah, they had the American
which
Nightmare, the
style?
wolf one. The wolf
Nice.
one.
Okay. Yep.
First-
You guys get
like,
matching?
debut.
The shirts that they had available, because they only had two stands. They had
Yeah,
the Island Irrelevancy shirt.
don't
that
like
one's
that
okay.
The
one.
new one. Mhm.
Don't
The
love it.
KO shirt, but I already have that because Jessica got it for me for Christmas, along with this County Fair Charlotte Flair shirt. Thanks,
Woo!
boys.
County Fair, Charlotte.
The
Flair.
County Fair
Woo!
Charlotte Fair. They had the Nashville 316 shirt.
Okay.
They had the I Was There shirt, but they were announcing it as a 2022. And what did you say about that one, Jessica?
I wasn't there in 2022.
Yeah.
So I'm not buying that one.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
I
a,
want-
it's a whole new
Buy it.
year, friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it said 2023, I would have gotten that one. But
That's a whole new year.
Yeah, they
Yes,
had they had a
yes,
Bianca,
it
they had a
is.
Bianca shirt, they had a Becky Lynch shirt, and the American Nightmare shirt, the
Nice.
wolf one. So that was pretty much it. So that's the one that, and they had that in youth and adult sizes. So we decided to go be cute and get the matching ones. Even though I had to get double XL because they sold out at both stands of extra large for the Cody shirt. So
So,
that shirt was a hot seller that night.
so when are you guys gonna get matching real neck tats?
yeah, I've heard we already have them. They're just covered up with makeup tonight for the
Oh,
show. Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah,
that looks like
copyright
a hickey.
purposes.
It's
Yeah.
like a hickey.
Jesus.
It's like a hickey.
Let me, Joe.
See-
Before Jess, before you go, this is a blast from the past. Brian might remember. Did Finley come down and did you attempt to fight him, Joe?
Oh my gosh, that's an East Lansing house show memory there. Yes. Wow.
Let me. So you've been on the floor, Brian, right next to the entrance ring. Joe and Jess, you guys have been ring 3. Jay, what's have you been ringside row 1 for?
Hmm?
Yeah,
I've been in
never
the first
been-
row. I've been in the first row for a house show, second row for a Raw, second row for Money in the Bank, fourth row for WrestleMania. And I've
That's
been
awesome.
like on the floor a couple other times for like SmackDowns and stuff when we lived in Texas because the radio station I worked at, when we had ticket giveaways, if people didn't come pick up their prize, we would just take them. So there were a lot of last minute, hey, second row for SmackDown kind of thing. So yeah, I've been close. Like I said, fourth row for WrestleMania this past year is going to be my favorite, even though I've been in the first 3, but like it's WrestleMania. Like that was my WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
The friends that I know that made that happen, I want to pay them back, but like a dinner isn't going to be able to pay back for like a $10,000 seat, So who knows? And then there's WrestleMania this year. With WrestleMania this year, who knows where I'll end up. I mean, I have seats right now, but I had seats in Dallas and I ended up in the 4th row. So
what was really cool was when the Bloodline came out, they were right next to us.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get you didn't get a good video of that? Come on.
Because it surprised me, and I was like, I didn't like
I tried to tell him. So this was Joe being Joe again. I'm like, dude, security is moving people all around. I'm like, somebody's coming down over here, and he's like, blah blah blah.
She gets
up
it.
here. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they were there and he didn't have his camera out ready to go. And I was more about just enjoying the show. So I didn't have my camera out a whole lot.
Right.
Because I just really wanted to enjoy the show. But yeah, he was not, I mean, you guys, Joe, he doesn't take like social cues and whatnot. So sorry. I still love you. But and best match of the night was definitely Seth and Austin. Just Seth's entrance is like it's really cool to watch it on TV because he's so energetic, but seeing it in person is really pretty awesome.
But we were singing along, hopefully.
Joe wasn't. Joe didn't sing. It was on his highlight video. We didn't hear Joe sing at all.
Well, okay,
because I knew I didn't want to ruin the video.
Yeah,
and plus
I get that.
My voice would have been all you heard if you remember.
Right.
But that was sweet, and he really got injured.
That could have been your karaoke.
When it went off the air, he was pissed. He's just banging on the mat, and Corey's about to walk away, and he's yelling at Corey Graves. And Corey comes running back, and he's like, "Get out here!" And Corey pretty much carried him to the back after.
So he might be hurt. But the elephant in the room here is this sign. Did you use a number 2 pencil to write that sign?
No, I used Sharpie. It actually looked good at home. It looked good there.
I never make it.
The lights are so much brighter when you're there. I didn't put into account with being on the floor how bright.
But you're a teacher and you make bulletin boards and you do these things all the time.
Jessica, how many bulletin boards do I make?
I make his bulletin boards. I use bulletin boards.
I don't do bulletin boards. I don't
do
letters. You know what? It wasn't really about the sign. It was about the experience. And I was just like, I wanted to show you guys that I was there. It wasn't for anyone else. It was for you four.
Rookie mistake, bro. You took a shot at the king and you missed.
I knew you'd say that.
Burger King.
You know what? I admitted it in my video. The only thing that I just don't understand about that video was why was I wearing a stupid Michigan shirt?
Because you work out to a Michigan poster.
You know. If you know, Michigan is the best.
Yep.
No.
The hospital. Jessica, I will say this. The hospital, because I love your health, one.
Thank you.
But I hate your brain. Who just said that?
It was her mouth who said
what?
What a mixed message comment there.
That brain.
Love your health, hate your brain.
Kevin.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And Kevin,
that's Kevin
fake beard you got him. Holy hell, was that realistic?
Oh, that
I could not believe it.
That fake beard that you got me was very realistic. I couldn't believe it. I mean, how did it look?
That. It looked great on camera. It looked great.
Laura laughed so loud because she's like,
"That's not Joe.
What is he talking about? It looks so real."
Yeah, you did a great job. That was a fabulous.
It was very funny. It was very funny.
You're welcome.
And it was so
I did
true
do
to life.
job.
Like Jason,
yeah.
I mean, you are my favorite podcaster. So I mean, it was just. I mean, Joe knows. He just knows. So
yeah.
that reel was just so real to life. So
that damn Bray Wyatt changing all the signs.
Changing the sign? Like, I couldn't even believe that happened.
He's everywhere.
Magic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and those Uncle Howdy guys were really short.
Oh yeah.
They were really short. Like the security moved them out of the way, and it's just like all of a sudden they're standing there. That's why the one security guy told them to move. They actually thought it was a fan.
Yeah, and then the stage manager
were.
And the stage hand. There's a video of the stage hand directing security to back
That's
off.
always good. Yeah.
We knew
It's like
something
when
was gonna
Gronk.
happen.
It's like when Gronk jumped at Mania that year. That female security
Yeah,
guard tried
yeah.
to keep him back.
Oh.
That was great. I remember that.
Yeah.
She was the
So,
best.
All right. Well,
Well, that's
Jessica,
awesome,
thank
guys.
you for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
was a fabulous experience. I would have liked to have seen more of it, but at one point I had a brick wall standing in front of me, and then Joe and I switched spots, and it was a little bit better.
Yeah.
So ringside or bust for my next show, ringside or bust.
Make it happen because you know Joe won't.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So
Bye,
thanks
Jess.
for having me on. It was a great time. And I'll be on next time we go.
Got it.
Awesome.
Bye.
We'll talk to you next week with the teacher power rankings once
Right,
again.
all right.
See where you
Bye.
stand. Bye, Jess. Thank you.
So yeah.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. You got to do that, Joe. Kevin, Jay, any other like Christmas, New Year's Eve highlights in your personal lives that you want to share with the audience? I have one, but I wanted to throw that out to you guys too.
This is the biggest highlight.
Look at that. Oh, it's upside down.
My last name's Marchuka.
That was that's the Miz style, right? Yeah.
I did get the Universal title for Christmas. It was a nice surprise for my wife. So yeah, I'm the champ. I'm the king. I am the straw that stirs the drink of that wrestling podcast.
Beautiful.
And
I got this ugly
so
shirt.
much cooler in sunglasses than Joe.
Oh, those Ray-Bans?
Well, so is Jessica.
Yeah. Kev, any Christmas?
We had some unexpected crazy weather. So I will say this. So every around Christmas Eve, I always weigh myself every year, because between Christmas Eve, it
feels like a mistake to me, but go
right
ahead.
Bad idea.
Between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, I'm guaranteed to gain about 10 pounds because all I do is drink nonstop for a good 7 to 8 days. 7 to 8 days. This year, we had like 50-mile-an-hour winds, negative 10 degrees for like 3 straight days in Fort Wayne. We live right next door to our community pool. You guys know where I live. We have these big ass trees. The wind couldn't go anywhere. Everywhere in our neighborhood, no snow whatsoever. Our driveway, we open up our garage. We have like 3-foot banks. It was insane. We were literally snowed in, and we had to cancel some travel plans. Just it was so heavy, so thick. I would go out there. I had to actually trim my beard or shave it because that thing was long. I'd go out there, come back just breathing. I'd have like little icicles in my freaking beard. But yeah, I gained like 13 pounds though between those 8 days.
What?
Just as a heads up. But it was all beer water type weight.
Beer weight, yeah.
It goes down significantly.
You hear about
So
water
you
weight,
didn't.
yeah.
So all you did was just drink and eat. And did you ever move, or did your wife get
Couldn't
you the
move.
beers the whole
3-foot
time?
banks of snow.
Yeah, we
No, I mean, like move from his couch.
Yeah,
Because
the
like
keg
gain that much weight
downstairs, I
that
mean,
Yeah,
quickly.
the keg's downstairs.
Yeah, I've we played a lot of Mario Party and a lot of beers.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well,
Good times.
I had family in town, and I got COVID. I have COVID.
You're on
right
the
now.
mend.
Yeah, it's
We
it's
appreciate your
weird.
participation.
I
under these
almost
circumstances.
canceled because I am.
Yeah.
Hence the sunglasses. It's not just a fashion statement. I'm pretty messed up right now, but like, I went almost 3 years with no COVID, and my sister-in-law, she had gotten sick. We thought it was just like a cold. She got back to Michigan, took a COVID test, and was like, "Hey." So I took the COVID test. I was positive. My wife was negative. That was Sunday. Earlier Thursday, I took one. Still got a little bit, but I felt worse today. So I don't know if that's common or not. Like, how like when you break a flu or a cold, you start to, I don't know. It was just a mess. But I did watch the Briscoes and FTR's double dog collar match. It's on YouTube now.
Okay.
Holy hell.
The Ring of Honor.
So good.
One, right?
Yeah, so good. So if you are looking for something after you watch this on YouTube, check out that match because it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Nice. So I'll remember my Christmas Eve, a highlight, or rather a low light. I came inside the house. I think I maybe was like taking out some trash or something. And my 3-year-old Fiona, who she's about like waist high for me right now. She came running up to me. She was excited to see me because I left the house for a minute or something. She ran up to me and she proceeded to bite me on the head Yes, that had guys. Guys,
Oh.
I
Welcome to the party, pal.
instinctively, I like did like a old TNA Monty Brown pounce to get her off of me. Take that for a throwback. And was on my side on the ground, crying and wailing for probably a legit 5 minutes. And Angela and Harper were in the other room. They're like, "What's going on?" Yada yada. And all I could get out was like, "She bit me. She bit me." And Angela was in tears, laughing. Poor Fiona was shocked because I shoved her, but it's instinct,
I just think it's great that you waited until the podcast to
I did,
tell
yeah.
the
For not sharing that.
Well, trust me, the whole family otherwise knows I was like the topic at Christmas dinner, seeing all the aunts and uncles and cousins that Angela was like, "Guess what happened to Brian yesterday?" Guys, I had a black mark the size of like a nickel on there. I joked with my wife, like, "Well, if you ever want to be with a black guy, now's the time." Might be the closest you're gonna get.
Wow.
Black spot, white
yes,
wiener.
pretty much. But yeah, it was there for probably about a week. Everything's good now. Everything seems functional, thank God. But I have never experienced a pain like that.
Have you ever zipped up too quick?
No.
Not.
I've done that.
I don't think
hurts.
so. No,
I've done that before.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the kick in the balls area. That's a unique pain. This was like a shooting pain I've never experienced, and
it's like a night in college.
It was a Christmas Eve. I will never forget. I iced it. I had to ice it down for like an hour. If you can imagine that visual. So
no,
it's probably best for all parties.
Yeah.
So I guess on that note,
I don't even want to think of nickels anymore.
Yeah. So, sorry for ruining currency for
But
you,
let me ask you this. Did your daughter cry when you broke every toy in front of her?
Or when you tossed her across the room?
Christmas is over. Yeah, she did cry a little because it was like, "Say sorry to Daddy. You bit him." And she's like, "No," because she was just so unnerved by
Grounded.
I wish I had video of it because, like, I
yeah,
don't even
me
remember
too.
throwing her, but like I know I did because it was an instantaneous shooting pain. I've never.
Maybe one of us can
life.
recreate the video.
No, we're good, man. Well, so if you want to hire some actors or whatever,
Joe, I mean,
be my guest.
Joe, you did the highlight video. I mean,
I did do the highlight.
Maybe
video.
you could recreate. I could. Fiona's about Jess's height, right?
About that would be the size.
They're in the same range there. Wow. Yeah. So,
I don't think she would let me pounce her across the room.
Shout out to Monty Brown there. Yeah.
Alpha male.
All right.
The alpha male.
On to other craziness. We are 5 days into 2023. We're off and running on trying to top the craziness of 2022. Vince McMahon wants back, guys. Essentially, he released a press release saying he wants to, maximize his power as a majority shareholder. He wants back on the board of directors. He wants to bring in 2 other members with him, former members of like the
former president
office.
Yeah, former presidents.
Yeah, it was George and Michelle.
It was the co-presidents that were replaced for Nick Khan when he came in. Now, the reason for this is to get voted back in, you have to have 6 votes. So Vince would obviously vote for himself, the 2 former presidents, and that would leave 3 more. Who would be the other 3 that may or may not vote him in? Paul Levesque, Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan. Yeah. Would they? Do you guys think those 3 would vote him back?
Let me ask you this. What if it's not the president you're thinking? What if it's the ghost of Jack Tunney?
No, we're being serious now. So I don't know, because it's like this is family too.
Yeah.
It's business and it's family. And like Paul Levesque, I would say, God, it's like he owes so much to him. I think he would say yes. And Stephanie's his daughter, so I think she would say yes. But would Nick Khan say yes?
Here's why I think they would all say yes. If this is just about a potential sale, the UFC sold for $4 billion. And from what I've been reading in the last 2 hours, WWE could probably get anywhere from $6 to $8 billion, depending on the purchaser. For me, and this isn't to do with my personal life, I think there's only one buyer that would make sense: Disney.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
I was excited for the prospect of, WWE land at all the Disney parks. I think that would be awesome.
Like the ESPN zone that they have and like all that stuff. That would be amazing.
So when you go to
go ahead,
Jason.
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna
make
say, so
it,
when you
make
go
a
to-
joke that's not going to hit.
Oh, it's gonna hit. So when you go to Disneyland, you see like the Marvel characters or the Disney princesses. When you go to WWE land, it's gonna look like young rock guys.
No, that is funny. That's good.
Thank you.
Actually,
No,
but
I think actually Disney would be great. Put it on Disney Plus, please.
But the reason why I believe that they would vote yes, if this is all about the sale, they all would get a big chunk of the pie. Paul would get his, Stephanie would get his, hers, and Nick would get his.
Okay, question for you, Jay, or everyone. Disney, ABC, ESPN would
FX,
WWE,
Nat Geo,
Yeah, they forgot.
Yeah,
I didn't. Okay,
they bought Fox last year.
Oh,
so they have Avatar. They have
So if it's Fox,
they have.
They already play SmackDown. They can easily have Raw on Monday nights.
On ESPN.
I think that's a different Fox, but yeah.
But it wouldn't be on ESPN because
it'd be on
FX.
FX.
Monday Night Football.
It would probably be FX or FXX.
FX.
Because if they're on FXX, they can be a little more PG-14.
And since they have 3 streaming services, which is Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus,
there's
the
your
network could go over to one of those 3, which I would see the network being probably part of ESPN Plus because that's the one that has the least amount of buys. And that means that people would have to get the triple feature of it because I have Disney Plus and Hulu, but I don't have ESPN Plus because not really my interest.
Yeah. So it's an interesting situation overall, though.
It's incredibly interesting.
I know more people are more freaked out because they think that Vince is coming back to ruin the shows. This is all about the sale. This is all about the media rights.
That's how it's being presented. But and Vincent he released his own press release saying that to the fact of like, I have confidence in the management. But if he does become chairman of the board, he could wake up on a Tuesday and say, hey, I'm not confident anymore. Karrion Kross, you're fired again. All these guys. So that's why
R-Truth, you're the 24/7 champion.
That's right. So I think that's he could always change his mind and he would be able to do it. So that's what I think does worry people.
That's the Schwerk.
That is the Schwerk. That is.
Or the Woot.
And that's the thing too, because of this possible sale, it's just, do companies, Disney, I mentioned in the chat, Amazon maybe with somebody because they like live programming now. With having Vince's name attached to it, do they shy away a little bit saying,
well, I think
you're Vince McMahon.
Vince is out.
Right. Is that how that works? And that's the thing when you talk about him wanting him to do the back on the board from the story was like Vince sent a letter to the board saying this, and the board said like, nah, it's best that you stay away. But we would love, as you're the majority shareholder, love to have you as part of those explorations of a sale. So it sounded like a bit of an olive branch of like, no, you're not going to, work here. But yeah, we want you involved. And Vince is saying, no, I want to be there.
Well, here's an example.
That's the thing.
Here's an example. I got an email from Podcast One. They wanted that wrestling podcast on Podcast One, but they didn't want Joe. And I'm like, fuck no, Joe's in.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of situation. So one last person that hasn't been mentioned as a potential purchaser, Netflix.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So Netflix did something this week that I think is genius.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
The partnership with Nike.
Not that. Okay, go ahead.
So new this week on Netflix, they have had, I think there's like 6 or 7 shows that are Nike workouts on Netflix. They're 10 minutes, they're 20 minutes. And I think that's genius because it's the beginning of the year and everybody wants to exercise and get better shape. and they're going to watch Netflix. So why not put it together? So if it is Netflix wanting to get into live streaming, the network, everything could be encompassed there, and you wouldn't have to wait for the DVDs to get delivered.
Well, I was talking about like their whole live streaming thing that they're doing in March with Chris Rock's first special.
Okay, I thought
it's going to be live. It's not going to be recorded. So this is his first live show, like on television or anything, ever since the slap. He's been doing his tours, but no one knows what he's talking about. But this one's going to probably, it may not address the slap. But the thing is, that's what people are going to tune in for,
and that's why they're going to watch it, because
that's why.
See
like I'm gonna watch it because I was going to watch it anyway. But now I'm curious.
Right. So this, I mean, obviously, this is a huge blockbuster story to start the year. A lot of it is, I think, above our pay grade, but it's an amazing dynamic. Yes, clearly, but it's an amazing dynamic. It's family, it's corporate takeovers. It's a lot. So
it's Succession, that new show that I've never watched.
I've heard that too. Yeah, I've heard that's a little similarities to that. But yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that as that rolls on. The last SmackDown, though, we'll take a look at the last thing of 2022. Last SmackDown this past Friday was set to be huge with John Cena's return with Kevin Owens teaming up against Roman and Sammy. But what stole the show
was his bald spot.
Oh,
Cena's bald spot.
I said to I got Cena. I feel you, bro. I feel you. You know, happens to the best of us. But other than the bald spot, does somebody have Cena's bald spot a Twitter account by now? I need to pull that up.
Well, anything
was better than what you're about to say. Anything was better than what you're about to say.
We'll get to the return. The buzz was the return of Charlotte Flair.
Yes,
no buzz.
She comes out.
No buzz.
It was perfectly well. It was perfect.
It was predictable.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
this isn't predictable.
Jessica, get back in here.
This is the junkie thing. I never watched SmackDown live, ever.
You should.
No, I will say this. And the first time I'm like, what do you guys think of Charlotte's new music? And it's like nothing.
No one was watching.
And then it's like not live, not watching. And I'm just like,
oops. Yeah, she just came in here. Jason says that the Charlotte Flair match was not predictable, that it was a total surprise. What did you think?
Nobody thought she was coming back.
No, she's right there.
No, he's talking to Charlotte.
I knew who was going to win the match.
Yeah, she knew what was going to happen.
It's not about who was going to win the match. It was about
MJF story last night.
We'll get to that.
2 nights
Okay,
ago.
we'll get to that. Okay, goodbye. Thank you. It was totally predictable.
I thought it was. It wasn't a surprise, like what type
it was
thing.
Hogan WrestleMania 9. It was Hogan WrestleMania 9.
Yes,
that's
it was.
What it was.
That's fair.
The return,
and everyone craps on that. Coming. Everyone craps on that, but you're like the Queen.
That's right, because nobody. Yeah, the match we knew she was going to win, but nobody saw her return coming. No, it was all about John Cena.
Rumored for weeks.
And you know, it's rumored that I'm Batman too, Joe. But the fact of the matter is, nobody knew she was returning. Sean Ross Sapp didn't report it. Alvarez, Meltzer, Cox, nobody reported she was coming back.
I said it was going to happen at the beginning of the night for one reason. John Cena was going to. I did too.
No one knows that.
John Cena.
You didn't tweet it. You didn't tell any of us.
Were you watching live?
You didn't know.
Yes. Okay. John Cena was announced to be coming back. Who else would come back during the time where they knew the most eyes would be on SmackDown? The Queen of Ego would be back. It was so obvious, and she got what she wanted.
Wasn't.
Good for her.
It was great that she. Well, no, we all got what we wanted, because nobody wanted Ronda as champ anymore.
That's
true.
My second
That's
point.
True.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, guys. Yeah, I didn't love.
But I don't want Charlotte as champ either.
Yeah,
nobody.
I didn't love.
I don't want
the
Charlotte
match
on TV. Period.
Do you want her on your chest and body?
Joe, you've
my county fair.
Your wife isn't there. Your wife's not there anymore. You can honestly.
Let me ask you this: is her top, are those bedazzle beads?
Yes, it's awful. It's awful. This is terrible. One eye is way bigger than the other, and this is straight from the shirt. Not.
I have that problem.
Person.
I have one eye bigger than the other.
So do I. But No, this was from Fanatics, and it's like an official WWE shirt. It's like their worst shirt ever. But sorry, enough about she who shall not be pinned.
I didn't love the match. Like I thought it was kind of a cheap roll up thing. I'm like, she just wrestled Raquel in a good match. Like, it's okay to beat her clean and be like, oh well. I didn't love.
So what do you
that.
think of Hogan Yokozuna?
I didn't love that either. I didn't love that. But so I think though, hey, anything but Ronda. And guys, I mean, where does Ronda Rousey go from here? Like, do we think we'll even see her again? I just don't think this has worked out, at least since she returned at the Rumble last year.
No, we're going to see her at the Rumble. We'll see her at Mania against Charlotte.
She'll be back, and
it's going to be drawn out.
No, she's going to go into a feud with Shayna.
She's going to be something because it might have been Raw. She's a pre-order on a video game to be a character.
Yeah.
That's a phone game. Who cares?
But
her acting in that commercial is so much better than anything she's done on WWE.
Yeah. Because in WWE, she goes, "You want to fight? Let's go." Like it just looks so bad.
Her best acting was in Entourage movie.
Bad.
She's so Her WWE stuff has nothing compared to Raid Skeleton Army or whatever the hell that video game's called. She's so much better in that commercial than anything she's done on live TV.
My only thing that I would like to see is a way to save her, and it would probably be a down the road thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. That saves Ronda Rousey. No more mic time. No more talking, just straight up ass kicking.
That was it, Jay. The bloodline disintegrates at some point in the near future. Thank you. Reset, Paul Heyman, Ronda Rousey. There's something there. I would be interested in that. But otherwise, yikes. It's not good. It's not good. So moving on, early on Wednesday, New Japan Pro Wrestling held Wrestle Kingdom 17, and as everyone expected, the performer formerly known as Sasha Banks appeared. She's now going by Mercedes Mone. She confronts Kyrie after her match. She hits a new finisher on her. It was botched a little bit.
It was botched a lot.
I think it was Kyrie's fault, but nevertheless, it was botched. And she cuts a promo how she's in New Japan, challenging her for the title in February. What did you guys think of the debut of Mercedes Mone?
Her look is outstanding.
Yeah, awesome. Her hair is awesome.
The hair that's like it's on fire and the blue is going away.
Pretty cool,
great.
Huh? Yeah,
pretty cool.
And
cool. She's embracing the Japanese culture with her her gear,
robe, and
the only thing I didn't like was the promo because there was feedback. It was like, I said this, I said that. It was like that echo effect. Now they did the interview afterwards. And she's like, "Yeah, this mic is so much better than I was out in the ring." I love the fact
at least she didn't drop an F-bomb like Moxley.
Well, that's besides the point, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom 17. So yeah, I think it's great. I don't know look, they're doing that show in San Jose in February. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested.
I was gonna ask, what would that be?
From Santa Clarita?
Yeah.
It's about a 7-hour drive, 8-hour drive.
So further than me going to Nashville.
That's what I was just going to compare.
Yeah, well,
to Nashville.
Nashville was a 6.5-hour drive.
By the way, Joe, did you go through Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, because if you went through Fort Wayne, I was going to ask you if you stopped in Uranus.
I did get yelled at. All four of us got yelled at because on the way back, we saw a barbecue place called D's Butts. And we didn't go to it.
Right next to D's Nuts Nut Shack.
Yeah, it was like big
did you go?
There was a big billboard that said no because it was on the way home and it was about 7 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't open. But it was like Jessica looked. I was driving and she looked on the side and went, "So you guys went to Uranus, but on the way here you drove by here D's Butts and you didn't go there afterwards." I'm disappointed in all four of you.
Wow. Well, Uranus was my call. We had
yes, it was. I said that.
So,
Wrestle Kingdom.
San Jose.
So San Jose is pretty far, but San Jose is only like 20 minutes from San Francisco, which is where Revolution is in March. I'm
You're
going
just
on
gonna
the
stay there for a month.
I'm going to the I'm going on the Jericho cruise at the end of the month.
Right.
I mean, if I make one or two of those trips, I feel like it's going to be by myself. I don't think I can. After the week on that boat, I don't know if my wife's going to be able to want to do anything wrestling.
San Jose is great this time of year, honey. Yeah. In
Yeah.
February. So yeah, it's definitely exciting. Guys, how big of a loss is this for WWE? And on the flip side, how big of it is a get for New Japan? Because she was officially moved to the alumni section of WWE.com. I know early on it was like, well, is there like a partnership thing? And that doesn't look like that's the case. She also thanked like Vince and Triple H and Regal on Twitter like before her debut. So it's kind of like goodbye WWE. Is this a big loss at all? I mean, what do you guys think?
It's a big loss. It's a big loss to the women's division, but she's a spoke in the wheel. They'll move on.
Yeah.
And there will be another Sasha Banks in the next 2 years from NXT. I don't know who that's going to be. Lash Legend, maybe. Tiffany Stratton, Wendy Chu, Cora Jade. I mean, it could be any of them.
Wasn't she on the SmackDown roster? So she wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway with the egos on that female roster, which you have to admit the SmackDown female roster is a mess, while the Raw one seems to be working better.
It's Raw's up compared.
It's all ego. It's all ego.
Completely.
The SmackDown women's roster is all ego, while the Raw's women's roster is all building each other up.
I think the one thing that I'm gonna miss is
these butts.
I've already missed that.
We never did get
the 4 horsewoman WrestleMania like moment together.
The 4-way.
Right? Yeah, the 4-way that
we got 3 though.
We got 3. Yeah, we did. And it's great. It's just I think that would have been like the capper of, those 4 girls who really brought the preeminence of women's wrestling today, where it wasn't that way 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Look,
so
I think once this Vince McMahon stuff clears, we may get Sasha later in the year. I think she's going to run roughshod through the indies. She ain't signing a long-term deal with anybody. She's going to do one-off short-term deals, make all that Star Wars money. I mean, she's getting booked at Comic-Cons and stuff, $30,000 just to show up and sign autographs and pictures for 2 hours.
Wow.
So
like Cardone that's what she's doing. And she's smart for doing that.
Okay. So
Cardone ain't charging $30,000 for a fucking
but she's like just not
on
doing
the scale.
She's not doing big she's not doing big long-term deals.
Cardone ain't wrestling at New Japan.
He's taking that money though and buying figures is what he's doing. It's relative.
But he's also not doing he's not doing long-term deals.
It's a similar business relationship is what you guys are insinuing. But
that's what I'm trying to say.
That brings me to Dynamite, because what it was teased for a couple of weeks, Saraya. Hold on, let me talk, my friend here. He had to choose a partner for the tag match. Britt and Jamie said, pick anybody who you want, and she had a little sit down. Tony Storm on one side, Sheeta on the other side. She picks Tony. Sheeta looks pissed. Guys, are you buying that this is what's going to be? Tony's the partner, or could this just be some swerve? And it turns out that Mercedes Moné is the partner after all.
I have a great theory, but I will let you all talk before I talk.
I thought I'll say this. I thought Sheeta's reaction was the funniest thing of all. I feel that if we laugh at,
I don't blame her either.
I know, but she's just like.
Yeah, like you're picking. Why am I here?
She's damn exactly.
Yeah.
She is good in the ring, right? Phenomenal in the ring. Like I love her. It's just the personality is garbage, and that's what I like her as a competitor. But it's hard to get engaged and enjoy her as a professional wrestler. That's the only thing. I thought the whole segment was whack. It was bad. It was so bad.
It was cringy. I thought Britt and I thought that segment was way better compared to comparing the two.
The tip off of Britt saying she's the boss probably just gave that away.
I know it did, but it's like I love the line pillar and killer.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was good.
Cool.
You know what I think is going to happen tonight, Friday, if you're listening to this or watching this. Rampage is live. Battle of the Belts is live. Tony Storm's getting a beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
whether Mercedes shows up to help or it's like, what's Saraya going to do? She doesn't have a partner and the match is getting ready to start. There you go.
Yep. I'm with you, Jay. I'm going option B. Sheeta's going to attack Tony in the back before the match.
Mhm.
Oh, Saraya, you don't have a partner. And then the Mercedes hits. So
It's going to be the actress that played her in Fighting with Family.
Yeah.
Starring Jason Marchuka.
Meltzer,
I was in that movie.
Was there?
I know you were.
Meltzer says today that he's getting nothing but denials. She's telling her friends that she's not showing up. He's not sure. So he's putting some doubt into it. But I will say, I think most of the time, AEW, when it comes to these surprises and things of that nature, they do deliver. So I would be
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
AEW delivers the huge announcement.
I mean, okay, yeah.
Christian Cage says hello.
I thought
Kevin
that
just did a spit take.
I thought that was an appropriate one.
It was a Hall of Fame level talent coming to AEW, and it's Christian Cage.
You don't
There
think
was a
Christian should
countdown
be in
and
the Hall of
everything?
Fame?
No, he should, but they made it seem like it was the next coming of John Cena or CM
Yeah.
Punk, and it was Christian
Okay.
Cage.
Or
Well,
Batista.
That's Big Show's fault that he shouldn't have said that. But but no, I mean, obviously CM Punk, we were still just
a debut of epic proportion on Dynamite. Here comes
Christian
Keith Lee. They botched that one too.
What's wrong with Keith Lee? We all love
what's right
Keith
with
Lee.
what's right with the Bearcat, Nittany Lion, Spartan, Wolverine, Bearcat, every other college that they perform on. Like, no, it was a bust.
It wasn't a bust. I disagree.
Yes,
Where's
was.
Miro? Bust.
Well, that
House
yes.
of Black on Dark.
Bust.
Bust.
I'm not talking about where the character goes. I'm talking about the actual
That's why
debut.
Mercedes should not be anywhere near AEW.
Exactly.
I'm not disagreeing
Nobody
with
should
you.
go
I'm just
anywhere
saying
near AEW.
what I think will happen is what I think we'll see on Wednesday, that we're going to get the graphic of Mercedes Mone is all elite. And that would be my
I hope not. I hope not.
We'll
I hope
see.
not.
We'll
I
see.
hope it's more along the lines of when Cardona was there and it was just 2 matches.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the
run-in and that's
pandemic.
it.
It was a weird time. So, I mean, it's possible, I suppose. Anything's possible.
If she shows up, I want it to be a one and done, like
Okay.
Eric Redbeard. For
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I don't want her
Okay.
anywhere near AEW.
Okay. That's fair.
You know, New Japan didn't have women's wrestling for a long time. Stardom was always there, and now they are a thing, and that's how that happened. So, yeah, let her run roughshod in Japan for a while, do these one-offs here in the States, whether it's AEW or Ring of Honor, hell, Impact, but I don't know I don't know how financially that works to bounce around a little bit, but that's what Cody did. He did all the indies. He did Impact. He ended up in Ring of Honor in New Japan, was with the Bullet Club. Shit. I think Jay White has come out and said that she is Bullet Club quality.
Oh.
I mean, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
GCW.
Yeah.
And GCW.
No, because they're not all death matches. They're quality, damn good wrestling. Shoot.
Lauderdale will pad the envelope there to get Mercedes Mone.
Brian
to
is
work
frozen
to
and looks
work
like he
the-
smoked a
to
huge
work-
doob.
To work the Ukrainian
there he
club
goes.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the Ukrainian club. We all love the Ukrainian club. Yeah, that was the other thing Meltzer did say, was that his WWE sources feel like she is not going to AEW. So whether they're right or wrong, we'll find out. They didn't. Didn't
percentage
think,
game. Percentage game. She shows up at Mania. Kevin?
Let's go. Do you think she'll even show up in the Rumble?
No.
No.
Mania. Kevin?
Mania, 33%.
Joe?
7%.
Brian?
10%.
50%.
All right. Yeah.
We get her at WrestleMania. Maybe I don't know who or what, how. I mean, I think she's back in WWE
Mania?
It doesn't matter.
It's
I just wanted to be 3 years down the line, and you're going to be like, I told you.
Way to ruin the bit,
WrestleMania
asshole.
43.
It's good. We always have to have clarification on these things. But
This
that's
Especially when it
year,
involves Brian.
4 months from
Mhm.
now, asshole.
Okay.
yeah. But that's fun though, because it does kind of lead into what our next segment was going to be, and that's 2023 predictions. We kind of casually threw out a couple during the Christmas gift episode. And so how we're structuring this, each of us could choose two wrestlers, two teams that we want to predict what's in store for them in 2023. Then after we've given our two predictions, we will each be put on the spot and given a third wrestler to predict as well. So we had two that we had time to plan on, and a third that we're just making up on the spot. I've got kind of a rundown here, guys. So what we'll do is each of us will do like our first one round robin, and then we'll go and do our second one. Okay. Joe, you are first.
Okay, my first prediction,
and I'm making notes on all these so we have them.
This
down
is pretty obvious, but I want to like start off being right. My prediction is going to be Rhea Ripley will be the one to dethrone Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship.
I said that 3 weeks ago.
I'm saying it now.
All right. My first one, FTR will leave AEW and return to WWE at SummerSlam.
Nice.
Kevin, you're first.
That's perfect. My number one is FTR leaves AEW, returns to WWE, and becomes WWE Tag Team Champs before the end of the year.
Wow. Okay. Great minds think alike. Jay, you're first.
Dolph Ziggler will either quit WWE or be released this year.
Got it. Okay.
I felt really bad for him.
He was just a background person on Monday.
And you couldn't even see him for 90% of the thing.
Right.
Well,
so sad.
What's funny is a lot of people think he was in the mask that dumped Bray Wyatt on his head last Friday night.
Yeah, the Uncle Howdy.
But it's not. A lot of people think it's him. There was a guy in Ring of Honor named Vincent, and a lot of people think he is the one in the Uncle Howdy mask.
A lot of people are also saying Bo Dallas too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joe, your second prediction, my friend.
Okay. My second prediction is Roman Reigns will wrestle more matches on television than MJF.
That's an interesting one. Okay. My second one, Raquel Rodriguez will win Money in the Bank, and she will cash in the same night on Becky Lynch. Money in the Bank being in England, so Becky's going to have that great hometown crowd. So Raquel will proceed to go heel by doing that and hold the championship until the end of 2023.
Much like you asked me if I wanted to recant my lack of Logan Paul vote. You know, Becky's from Ireland, right? Not England.
Oh, of course, but you know they're like
they're
sister countries. You know,
okay,
they're not.
they're not. They're not enemies, right?
He's the teacher. We saw it in his Raw recap video.
Fair. Kevin.
Yes, Kevin's turn.
Big E recovers from his neck situation, returns and challenges for a championship title.
All right. And Jay, your second one.
This one's a little controversial. I think that 2023 is the year we see Tessa Blanchard in a major promotion. Okay. The only reason I say that, look, allegedly she made some awful comments. She's been posting a little more on Instagram. You know, there have been videos of her training with Mercedes and Bailey and Natty. And I feel like this is the year. I've met her twice. I met her at a show, and then I did ring crew for the Women of Wrestling relaunch promos that they had shot. I'm actually in the video. The guy taping the rope with the mask on, that's me. But she was very nice to me, and she needed help with her suitcase because they were in the basement of the ground floor of the venue, and her bag weighed like 80 pounds, so she needed help getting up a very narrow stairwell. So
you're like, I can't help you, but this big guy over here can help.
No, I helped her just.
Oh, that's
I helped her just fine.
Okay.
With your legs.
I just think that this is the year. She's been away. She's been popping up on some indies now and again. I don't know where. I mean, the obvious choice would be with or against Charlotte Flair because of their horseman ties. But I think this is the year we get Tessa in a major promotion.
she really had a big run for a little bit of time there in Impact. Where wasn't she like the actual heavyweight champion in Impact? Like
she went through all the
Yeah.
men and won the title, and then it kind of all went downhill from there. But
Yeah.
that's another story for another time.
Right.
So
That's
Is
a good
Tully-
2023.
Will Tully manage?
well, I don't know where she's going to go, and I don't know where he
Yeah.
is at this point.
He's
Who
wearing
knows?
his white Skechers.
Oh, don't get me. I watched that video this week. I was flipping
Did
through
you?
YouTube, and I'm like, motherfucker, they all look great. He's wearing goddamn sneakers with a suit. I hate that more than
Oh my
anything.
God.
That's all.
And-
That's all I
and all
remember
the-
from Tully in AEW are those stupid sneakers. That's
And
it.
and all the sports guys out here, the Laker coverage, they're all wearing sneakers. Robert Ory wearing sneakers with suits. The guys it drives me insane.
Hate you, Big Shot Bob. Hate you. And
Oh,
Joe and Kevin
so do
feel the
I.
same way. Yeah, we're united in our
Game
hatred of
5,
Big Shot Bob.
2005. Oh my God. Don't leave him open.
Vladi, grab the rebound. Don't tip it out to Bob or Bobby Orr.
Sheed, why are you not covering him?
Yes. So painful memories. All right. So now it is our on the spot predictions. I will go to you, Kevin, first. Okay. I want you to give your 2023 prediction for Edge.
Ooh, I'm going
A
to
personal
say,
favorite of yours.
It is. Yeah.
One of many koozies. Yes.
I've been listening to a lot of Busted Open lately, and I wish I watched Impact more than I do, or follow up on it on social media, because I feel like I get most of my Impact like download from Jason and Tommy Dreamer, because he's associated with Impact. So I know Mickie James is doing her last rodeo, and she has a big match coming up against Jordan Grace. I feel that Edge is going to have that same thing. We know it's coming, right? He's going to hit all his big cities. I would absolutely love. Honestly, I might even cry if he wins the world title again. I'll tell you that right now. If I cry,
I'm taking notes of that. Kevin will
put
cry.
I'll put it on. I would love to see him have a main event program, win or lose. I don't care. I mean, I want to see him the best Edge that we can have. Main event, one of the big fours, right? Just one of those big programs. And if he puts someone over, perfect. If he wins the title, perfect. I want to see him have that one last main event at a big event.
Okay. So Kevin, you will. Oh, sorry, Jay. You got quick.
No, I think it's great.
All right. So yeah, Kevin, you give a wrestler prediction for Joe to do.
Definitely. Joe, I give you Chad Gable.
Chat.
No, it's not. That's not a laughing matter. That's not a laughing matter, because if Joe takes it the way potentially he could, it's actually a very clever pick.
I would like to see Chad Gable expand the Alpha Academy. You believe it or not, they were over on Monday. The crowd was into it.
They're great.
The crowd was like, he was shushing us during commercial breaks because it's like they introed.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And he Otis they love them. So I see the Alpha Academy getting a new member that Chad Gable can put under his wing, because he is 4-point Gable. He is the smartest man on the roster.
Isn't it 4-point Otis?
It's 4-point, whatever. The point is, I think Chad Gable is going to have a great 2023, and he's going to expand the Alpha Academy.
Any suggestions on who that might be?
It's going to be someone from NXT. It's going to be someone from NXT. I just don't know.
So it's going to be Gable Stevenson.
No,
or his brother,
him,
or the Creed brothers.
Yeah,
I could see. Oh, I could see that. I could see a merger of the two.
The
but
Diamond
either way,
Academy. Yeah.
The
I'm pretty smart.
Bad.
I like that. But I was just thrown there for Chad Gable. But yeah, Chad Gable, and plus he's so good in the ring too. He can go with anybody. I see him having another great year. Do I see championship in his future for 2023? Absolutely not. But he doesn't need it.
Yep. Good job, man. Joe, you were giving a wrestler prediction for Jason.
All right, Jason, this is one of your favorites who hasn't been on television in a while. I want to know, what is your prediction for Dewdrop?
Oh, it is a favorite of
I think she could win the Royal Rumble. I mean, she's got size, so that would definitely be in her favor. She potentially could be with Alexa Bliss, maybe as the heater, or if Bliss goes with Bray, maybe Dewdrop, there's something there. The big one, I think, is she would win the Royal Rumble and go to WrestleMania.
Who does she challenge? Sorry, it's a two-part question.
I don't know. I mean, either or.
Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa. I don't know. I honestly don't even know which. I think she's Raw, so that'd be Bianca.
She's Raw,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
but
think
when it comes to the Rumble, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, I think she wins I think she could win the Royal Rumble this year.
All right.
And
then you're giving one to me, Jay. Yeah.
What happens for Apollo Crews?
Ooh, okay. I see him in NXT for the majority of the year. Maybe through SummerSlam, maybe they bring back the draft come the fall. I don't think maybe a North American title reign, but I think he's one of those guys that he's going to be like at the main event level, but he's there to let the Grayson Wallers and the Carmelo Hayes like get their shine, right? He's a good guy for that. So I see him in NXT through summer, back on the main roster in the fall. And how about if things are aligning how I think they're aligning?
I think I know what you're going to say.
How about he joins a reunited Hurt Business?
Yes.
Seems like that might be brewing from what you saw.
You did see them in the background.
Talking
to,
it was kind of a keep your eye on this.
Shelton and MVP were all together talking to Adam Pearce.
And I bet he would look great in a suit without sneakers.
Oh yeah,
without sneakers.
That's a necessity. Yeah, but he's a solid performer. I think he's gotten better on the mic. This NXT run is fun. He's a great in-ring performer. So I think he's serving his time in NXT, doing fine there. And then let's give him something of a meaningful spot back on the main roster. And if a couple of weeks from now, when we're talking about Lashley and the Hurt Business back in business, maybe they get a new member too. All right. Good job, guys. These are some good predictions here. We'll try to remember to revisit these maybe in the half-year point and at the end of 2023 as well. One thing that is officially over with, Kevin and Harley, congratulations.
That's my dog. That's not a kid. That's my dog.
He's chiming in on the picks or on the prediction.
Or she's
chiming in. Sorry about that. Kevin, congratulations. The picks are over. You and Brett have another six-pack. Okay, your victory speech, my friend. Congratulations.
I told Brett's secret about a month and a half ago, and
what's he get? You bribed him?
No, I told you, Brian. Slime time. It was the way to go.
Yeah. I gotta pull up that Nickelodeon. Yep.
I'm telling. It was like any kid with technology, he loves his tablet. He loves playing games, and on the weekends he likes watching football with me for like a half hour, and then he watches like, let's do something else. He's not keen to watch it for 3 straight hours.
Yeah,
but he loved when we started watching Nickelodeon Slime Time. We found it, man. I'm telling you, they it's the funniest thing. So like when the Dolphins play, they put a dolphin head on the players. When the Rams play, they put a Rams head on Christmas Day. We watched the entire Christmas Day game.
I tried, Kevin. I don't like football.
Well, you're not
the only team I could watch is this. The only team that I watch from start to finish is the Steelers if they're on. I tried Slime Time because you hyped it up.
Watch this Sunday.
And I'm like,
see some good football.
Well, I don't know.
But the announcers on Slime Time are geared towards kids, except for Burleson. He's actually perfect. And honestly,
love
Detroit Lion, by the way.
I loved the playoff game last year, Cowboys and Niners on Nickelodeon. I watched that on Nickelodeon instead of CBS.
Well, I saw
it was fun. It was
Yeah,
just fun.
The one clip they showed from the Christmas game, which was Broncos and Rams, was they had Patrick Starr from SpongeBob, like doing it. And Russell Wilson throws an interception, and he's like, "I don't think that's what Russell Wilson was trying to cook," or whatever. There's the Russell is cooking line.
When you're getting like insulted by Patrick,
Right, right. It's like, this is not going well.
It may be time to cut
at
ties
all.
with Russell Wilson.
But I will say this, Brian. I did ask Brett. I'm like, "Are you sad the picks are going to be done? There's no more." And he's like, "Eh."
Yeah.
Well, funny you say that, because Brian and I brainstormed an idea last night on the phone that might not necessarily be an every week thing.
No.
But the idea is you would show him pictures of wrestlers, old wrestlers, and he would have to pick their names.
Oh, that would be
That's funny, right? That's good.
That
Not every week, so
That
that
would
he
be-
doesn't get burned out.
Right.
need
Like
to
a
get,
same
King
for
in
Hartford
the
Field.
African Dream.
in
Yeah,
some
I mean,
some obscure
Baxton
wrestlers.
Booger,
Like throw a wrestler he
Warlord?
would know.
Monty
and then
Brown.
throw
Fiona, this one's for you.
He's gonna be like businessman.
yeah. I mean,
IRS.
I
That'd be
think
good. Yeah.
I was gonna try to do that with
That-
my 13-year-old niece when they were visiting for Christmas, and we just ran out of time. So I said it to Brian the other night on the phone. I was like, it wouldn't be every week, but I think it could be funny.
That could be
It's kind of like Brian used the example of these videos where kids listen to like Slipknot and Metallica for the first time, and it's their reactions,
their
but
reaction.
it would just be pictures of wrestlers. So maybe something, maybe not. But congrats, Kevin, to picking up.
By
that.
the way,
Just
your
fact-
niece and nephew, great judge of characters. By the way, I just want to say that they are real.
They're
you're doing a great
disowned.
You're doing a great job as an uncle, because they have great judge of characters, and I just am very proud of the youth of today. Way to
Yes,
go.
my niece and nephew, they laugh at Joe because of his glasses, and they were like, "Film us. We want to send Joe a message," and it was about how I think he's the best person on the show, which is their kids. They're dumb.
Brilliant. No,
So-
they're brilliant. They're brilliant. They're
Amazing.
brilliant kids. I like the way, great teachers, and it's like whatever. I'm very motivated for the youth of today and the future of the world, with your niece and nephew being the leaders.
By the way, Kevin, how about that look back of the very first football picks? Brett's come a long way from, "Hey, Brett, who's going to win, Bears or Lions?" And he said, "Bears and Lions both." He's come a long way from them.
So there might be like 50 views on that video just from us watching it, because he's like the Bears and Lions both, and he looked they look so like cute and
So little.
Are you
3 years
gonna
ago.
cry again, Kevin? Like
No, but when Harper
Like
goes
2 weeks ago.
Harper, the Sealers.
Right. Yeah, no, it's amazing, man.
They were fun. They were fun.
Lot of fun to do.
You edit great videos.
you.
Jay is very excited for future edits of videos on here. And like you said, the wrestler picks. And I feel like the first one should be Bastion Booger. Like, I don't know who said that, but
I did.
I guarantee Brett says something fun.
And that's the best part. Like,
exactly.
no
yeah.
preparation, no coaching them. Just let them be kids.
Yeah. No,
This could be
that's
fun.
Perfect. That's perfect.
That's a perfect idea.
So a new thing we're gonna do in 2023. We're gonna try this out, and it's called 1 minute remaining. And what we're gonna do, each of us will have a turn. Maybe once a week we rotate this, where one of us gets 1 minute to end the show to talk about whatever they want. It could have to do with wrestling. It could be non-wrestling. So the floor is 1 minute uninterrupted. I got my little stopwatch here on the phone. And Jason will be able to go first to kick off this brand new segment, 1 minute remaining.
No, Joe, this actually
got to stay and take it.
Joe, this actually has nothing to do with you. So
Good.
the way we're going to do this, I need to get this camera on me. And then, Brian, I will tell you when to go. And then I would like a 10-second notification. Just say 10. So that way I know to wrap up. So Here we go in 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, so on the Christmas episode, I talked about wanting to expand what we do here on That Wrestling Podcast. And yes, there is an Impact Wrestling podcast coming. It's going to be called TWP Impact Podcast, but there's also a new series coming starting this upcoming Wednesday. Now, I went to an independent wrestling show about a month ago, and I had a blast, and I forgot how much fun independent wrestling shows are. So, coming up this Wednesday is the first episode of That Indie Wrestling Podcast. It's about independent wrestling here in LA, where I'm from, Pittsburgh, Iowa, Indiana, South Dakota, Portland, Seattle, anywhere that there's independent wrestling, I want to talk about it. So ideally, I want to talk with a guest about what they got going on. Wrestlers, ring announcers,
10 seconds,
managers. And it's with Quincy Jones, the new owner, promoter of Winner's Circle Professional Wrestling, January 27th in Chino, California. That's happening this Wednesday on our YouTube channel and our audio feed.
All right. Awesome.
Ding,
So
ding,
yes, expansion in 2023 is a beautiful thing. Looking forward to that, Jay. Everybody, of course, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast, at That Wrestle Pod for all your social media, and whatamaneuver.net for your That Wrestling Podcast merchandise. New year, same motto. Enjoy wrestling. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Follow That Wrestle Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That Wrestle Pod on social media.